Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Today's video is going to be sort of a long-range forecast, more of a medium range forecast, but I'll still call it a long-range forecast because there is no such definite term for a long range. You could set it what you want yourself. Typically it's for about the next week or two. So that's what today's video is going to be on. There's a potential for snowy patterns setting up. There's a potential for a couple of storm systems, but that will need to be addressed as we go on into this video. If you like this channel, if you like to support the work I do, if you'd like to give this channel a better future, you could do so by subscribing, and I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's move on with this video. So right now we're looking at the GFS 6-hour average precipitation rate, millimeters per hour, MSLP. So this basically just shows you the precipitation type that will be falling and the systems associated with the precipitation type. We're looking right now at 12Z Tuesday, November 6th. So this is the noon model run for Tuesday, Election Day, November 6th. The reason why I'm making this video in the middle of it is because we don't have school today. It's Election Day. We are getting a new governor elected today. So that's why I'm able to bring this video out to you. You see, we have this big storm that came across yesterday night. At least my area came across yesterday night. It's impacting much of the northeast and the northeastern part of the United States. It's also producing a little bit of snow on the backside. Not major snows with this system. You know, some snow obviously, and this is a snowy pattern we'll be ascending into some snow in northern Minnesota, North Dakota, Wisconsin. Light snow showers, nothing significant. The big snows will be saved for just southeastern Canada, areas like New Labrador and Funland. So we pass through this. You could see the storm pushes on through, and we start getting this little tiny system. Not much moisture at all with this. It does strengthen once it reaches out into the coast of the northeast, but as it is here in the Midwest, there's not much at all there's not much precip, there's not much it doesn't have much to work with this system, and it only strengthens later on. And if this system were to strengthen somewhere around here, like it is strengthening but a little bit further to the northeast, then we could be seeing some significant snows in the US. But this will be mainly reserved for Canada and parts of northern Maine. As we pass through this, you could see parts of northern Maine, northern New York, and mainly rain though for the rest of the northeast. So let's just track through this a little bit slower. We basically see this breakout around Colorado. It's sort of a Great Plains snow, if you want to call it that. It starts forming here. You can see starts organizing, then it kind of weakens into two. You can see this one splits off further here, and then there's one that starts developing right there. Some snow showers, light snow associated with that, impacting areas like Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, UP of Michigan. We see this little tiny band behind it, which could also produce some scattered snow showers. And then, as I mentioned, it strengthens off significantly and pushes on through. The other thing that we'll need to really keep an eye on for is after this storm that's passed through yesterday, at least my area again, this storm that's impacting right now the northeast, there could be quite a bit of lake effect snow afterwards. So we will need to watch that. We will need to keep an eye on for the lake effect and the potential for heavy snow from the lakes, because there's a lot of cold air. As with this system that just passed brought in a lot of cold air from the north. That cold air pushed through, kind of sagged down to the south, and it brought much colder air for the country, and that colder air allowed itself to push over the lakes. Warm lakes plus cold air equals lake effect snow. And after this system, some more lake effect snow. You could see some of the mountains that will be occurring across Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Ontario are actually fairly significant, up to a foot in some areas of lake effect. But again, and then you can see the GFS is showing another snowstorm that's going to be mainly impacting parts of southeastern Canada in terms of the snow aspect. A little bit more snow in terms of the upper elevations. You can see there's a little bit more cold air in place, but this storm is going to be so strong that it's just going to push so much warm air by itself within the system and can't really produce snow in the areas like the Northeast, and then afterwards you can see the lake effect bands just come ripping through, and it's northern Indiana, southern Michigan, northwestern Pennsylvania, pretty much the whole state of New York, northern Ohio will be getting quite a bit of lake effect. That is fairly set in stone at this point. And then afterwards, the pattern, we don't know where it goes. There's some signs of a significant warm up going into late November and early December. Others are showing a consistent cold pattern sticking through late November and then weakening in mid-December into warm pattern. So we will definitely need to see where this goes. But all we know is that for the next several days, if not a week, we will be definitely seeing some cooler air. So let's go to 2-meter temperature anomalies. Right now, this is what we're looking at currently, this current situation. We're seeing some warmth across the south and the east and the northeast, but then behind that system, the cold air just comes rushing in through a funnel that the storm left behind, and you can see the temperatures are going to be 16, 20 degrees below average in some locations. Some models are even showing up to 40 degrees below average. I don't know if that will be really happening, but we'll definitely need to see, because once this cold air mass reaches down to the south, it definitely could bring down as cold weather or cold air as cold as 40 degrees below zero. Not 40 degrees below average, not below zero. I'm not sure if this is going to be a record breaking in terms of the coldest, for the time that it's going to be impacting, but this could definitely break a couple of records. And the main concern with this thing, it will be very prolonged. You could see one after another, and then we get another cold air mass. This second one actually seems a little bit colder than the first one. So into late next week, we're still expecting cold air for at least the eastern part of the United States. And then you can see it starts breaking through. Some warm air comes through with a storm system, and then we start seeing another little cool down. So we don't really know where this will go. We have no idea. At this point, we can just speculate. We're speculating for I would say, 8 days and out. It's all speculation. If we go to the 6 to 10 day outlook, November 11th through the 15th, 2018, obviously, you could see the Storm Prediction Center has quite a bit of below average areas, real estate under the below average conditions, and their confidence in that is probability of 80%, which is fairly confident, and that is definitely going to be impacting quite a good dose of the country. I mean, you can see anywhere from the west, like Idaho, Nevada, all the way to the northeast. Only areas, again, California and parts of Florida. We go to the 8 to 14 day outlook, 13th through 19th. You could see the probabilities are a little bit less. That's obvious because it's going to be farther out. But I also think it is going to be a little bit less cold than it would be with this. With the 6 to 10 day outlook. And the precipitation, you can see some in between, no really extremes. If you go to the 6 to 10 day outlook, maybe a little bit above average for the east and below for the west. But nothing in particular of extremes in terms of above average precip, no major above average precip patterns. Some storms would bring quite a bit of rain and snow, like I showed, impacting the northeast, but I don't think there will be any massive systems that will be happening one after another, occurring in the same place, leading to a big pattern of flooding and rain or snow, depending on the temperature. So now we look at the weather.us. This is where I get my European model off of. And I want to track out this little system that will be occurring across the country into Thursday night and Friday and into Saturday, and then extending and strengthening out into the northeast and Canada. So let's just take this hour by hour. We are looking right now at significant weather. The blue is the snow, the green is the rain, and the purple is the thunderstorms. So let's go through this. We are looking right now at 39 hours out. So this is sometime around Thursday during the day, and we start seeing the storm starting to gather some strength. It starts off fairly well on a fairly good note. Northern Kansas, southern Nebraska will probably get 3 to 6 inches out of this. I would say Kansas City looking like a fairly good hotspot for the snow. And this starts riding up north and northeast. But again, it starts weakening as it does so. So you can see it starts shifting into Illinois, into Iowa. And as we go on, this is now, I think, Friday morning, early Friday morning. You can see snow starts breaking out over Chicago, Peoria, Illinois. You can't be getting out of this. But Some heavier snowfall amounts, they don't look likely. It depends on what you define heavier. If you mean heavy snow 6 inches plus, I don't think we will see any snowfall amounts that will be insanely high. Maybe some 6 inch localized amounts in northern Kansas, southern Nebraska, and in northern Michigan. But that's also due to the lake effect snow in northern Michigan. But that passes through. You can see some mixing during the day, but during the night it strengthens out into a fairly large storm with quite a bit of rain, snow, and that basically passes through into the northeast, leaves quite a bit of cold air behind it. The lake effect you can see starting to act up there. If we were to zoom in on this, you could see off of Lake Michigan several lake effect snow bands that definitely could be impacting the Indiana, Michigan area. So overall, a fairly snowy pattern, something to keep an eye on for in terms of slick roads, potential for first frost and freezes for many in the south. Nothing too in particular, no big storms, but just a long-range forecast today. Hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you learned something new. Consider subscribing, consider liking the video, and I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.